So let's say you've been diagnosed with hand arthritis, and it's really painful to pick things up. And also you have to eat food, so when you go to the grocery store, you end up getting these huge bags, and in many cases you guys have to walk home with those. So the problem is when you hold these, it really burns on the hands. I'm going to give you guys 2 easy strategies you can do to make sure that the load gets taken off your hands. So listen up. And really quick, before we get going, subscribe to Riley Rehab. I'll make new videos every single week to make you the expert of your own body. And to make you the expert of your own hands, you have to realize that when you have hand arthritis, your hands are a lot weaker than what they normally would be. And in some ways it is good to do things to strengthen it, but you also do got to be careful that you don't overdo things. And one big example that I see is when people have to carry things, such as grocery bags. Even if you're retired, even if you're doing your own thing, you often have to go out and get groceries. So what can happen is you'll carry these bags, and these things will wear on your fingers. I'm going to zoom in here to make a point. These things will wear on your fingers because they're pushing down, and imagine all that force going down on your fingers like that in the area where the arthritis is. It's really painful. So one thing you can do is you can try to grip it up high, but I find the 2 best solutions, especially if you get tired there, is to, instead of grabbing with your fingers, grab with your wrist. So that means what you do is you stick your hand, your whole hand, through the holes in the grocery bag, and you just hang it like this. You might have to kind of bend your wrist in like this a little bit to cup it, but you're actually letting the weight of your wrist hold the grocery bags instead of your fingers, which is really good when your fingers are aching, when they're sore and they need a break. And really, I even let go of my hand here, and I'm pretty much just letting it hang off my wrist. Now, some people might argue this might be harder on the wrist, but if you have hand arthritis, it's more likely that your fingers are going to wear out before your wrists do, and the risk of getting wrist arthritis is a lot lower. The other thing too is sometimes this will tire out your forearms a little bit. So the other option that you can do is you can elbow carry, which basically means that you bring this further up. In my case, my arms are a little too thick for this, but you basically want to get them up to the top of the elbow here. You basically can get it up to the end of the elbow. It usually works if you have the longer bags that have the longer string so you can fit your arm through. But basically what you do is you just hold on with your elbow here, and then your elbow's doing the carrying instead of the fingers, so you give your hands a nice little break. The other thing too, and you can also do the same thing holding grocery bags in each hand, really takes the edge off the fingers. I highly recommend this. And lastly, if you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and please comment if you feel this made a huge difference in your life. And I'll see you next time.